Hello and welcome to the sequel no one wanted for a live commentary on Empire Escalation, Engineer Edition.
Teleporter coming right up.
In case you missed it, because I went fast there, I got 3 ticks of dispenser range, a 2-way teleporter, and the sentry firing speed.
Let's go, let's go, let's go.
2-way is pretty nice on Empire. I get a lot of upgrades mid-wave. And the demo medic pairs that like to hang around here also tend to abuse it for crit canteens and whatnot, so if you have some high tour players, always a good idea to get that. They'll more than likely use it very frequently. Dispenser range hopefully is self-explanatory. The more further away people are from the dispenser, the less likely it's going to get hurt, you know? And then my placements, the teleporter going right there. It's just the closest position, easy to get to. And then the dispenser right there, there's these markings on the floor right here, and goes in that little corner there. And from that position it can reach up here on this edge, and it will reach just about up. If the heavy was sitting there, it should reach him from there. Yeah, like you can see the demo, it reaches there. And then the sentry going there, that's the best early block spot you can have. You can put it right there, but there's a pretty good chance that the giant scout will just go around it. It's like a 70% success rate if you put it right there. After the giant scout is dead, you can immediately bring it up here, and then once the next giant scout spawns, move it right here. And with the firing speed, you should be able to kill that pretty quickly. And then the snipers will spawn, so don't get one shot to those guys. Sometimes you'll get a buster if you get enough shotgun heavies. Other times you will get the buster after the bowmen spawn. And that is where we are going next. Putting the sentry up here if a buster already spawned. And that way we can pull it back after the buster gets up here. And maybe it will take out some bowmen with it. If it stop dancing. And just putting it kinda close to this left side usually gives it enough time to kill the bowman before the bowman can shoot. Unless like 4 of them drop at once, and then maybe it'll take some damage, but normally it's perfectly fine. They're all dead. And the next thing that comes up here is the pyros.
Another sentry buster has entered the area.
Sniper! Dispenser down! I'm moving this. There wasn't getting any lighter.
You can use the Wrangler there, and you should be able to kill them all before it reaches your sentry. But I'm talking and playing at the same time, and that's taking a lot of my brain power, so I did not opt to go that route. Wait for these rockets to finish up. So placing that back down. I'm going to run back and get building health real fast. And metal, because I can afford it. You do not need this tele scout. My dispenser has died because of you. And my sentry. Good job. I will blame Scout for that. 100%.
Erected a dispenser. Backing up.
If you wanted to, you probably could have picked up a building canteen right there with that respawn if you were in a situation like this. I do not like using building canteens on Manhattan. I think it's too cheap. Pretty easy map. And it really isn't that hard to get stuff up. You only need a level 1 dispenser, to be honest.
Sentry buster has entered the area.
And Sentry comes up pretty fast. And I used Jag, so it's even faster than the second. I suppose I should talk about the weapon choices. Rescue Ranger, Wrangler, and then Jag. Any wrench will do, I want to say, but honestly,
Another sentry buster has entered the area.
you spend most of your time refilling a Sentry's ammo reserve, and the Jag does that the best, so I personally do not see a reason to use any other wrench other than the Jag. So I got 2 ticks of jump height there and another building health, so now I'm at 2 building health. And
Building a sentry.
okay, demo is getting the bowman. Hopefully. Maybe. If the demo is clueless and doesn't know how to get the bowman, you bring the sentry up here and you place it in the middle there to block the bowman, and you wrangle and try to pop the meds as soon as possible. Otherwise, you want to put your sentry over there. Definitely not over there or on the barrels, because that has a chance of popping the medics before the demo can detonate. Definitely don't want to do that. You can put it here,
Here they come.
but that will start firing on the demo knights faster if you put it over there. I don't know if demo can one-shot these bowmen, so I might have to pull that back over to there. Anyway. The
I'm moving this. That was getting heavy.
main purpose of the engineer for Empire is going to be keeping top secure and providing the teleporter and dispenser, of course, which is just on every map. Same is mostly true for Metro, however, the engineer is less capable of soloing top on that map. The Fist of Steel on Wave 2 specifically is usually
You have killed all the spies.
pretty difficult to manage without hardcore Widowmaker and being very aggressive. Demo did not use crit canteen, so I know he's not going to solo this. So I'm going to bring this up here to get started. And as soon as it looks like my sentry goes down, we pull back, but I think we got that.
Moving out. Bomb bomb down. Backing up. Go on, get it. I'm moving this.
The rest of this wave is downstairs.
That was getting
Back to this barrel is my favorite spot to be. Can't be stabbed by spies, and I will use a sentry buster glitch there.
There wasn't getting any lighter. Backing up.
And the full ammo is right there. Just have to fall off the edge. Don't know why Soldier is trying to take it. Perfectly good dispenser.
How'd that
I'm
plan turn out
going
for
to
you,
get the
dummy?
disposable
Another sentry buster has entered the area.
and place it right here.
Sentry going up.
Normally the disposable, yeah, is to put stuff in the metal, waste money, whatever, yada yada. You know, it's a utility, not a damage source. And if you use it like a damage source, it is a waste of money. However, you can use it to abuse the AI right there and make Buster's suicide. And next wave, I will be using it to abuse aggro to save my main sentry from taking almost all damage up top.
Another sentry buster has entered the area.
The key to this bug is you have to kind of stand on this corner with where the light meets the dark there, and do B-hops while holding your sentry and facing this direction. Did not wrangle that. Alright, I actually didn't wrangle that. I should
Another
have.
sentry buster has entered the area.
And you can do this without the mini with 3 jump height. I only have 2 jump height, so I'm pretty sure I need the mini. It is a lot easier to do with the mini. Got to wrangle again. A lot of effort talking and typing.
Building a sentry.
Finish off with the max building health, then get that last tick of jump height, and this lets you jump up here without needing to do 2 jumps.
Let's go, mates.
So for starting off this wave, gonna put it on the box there, and it's not gonna be there for long.
Let's go.
And that is just to help a little bit with the fan scouts.
Everyone ready?
But as soon as the big giant shotgun dies, we are going to move it back to here, in between the second and third railing, because engineer bots spawn in.
Defend our honor. Kill these robots.
I'm so used to pressing F4 at the end of every wave.
3, 2.
And we are starting the mini off back here, already ready for that. The engineer bots will spawn there, there, there. Sometimes they spawn in this area or right here. And then one more will spawn back over there, and they will walk over to this area. Did not happen this time, which is unfortunate. I would have liked to show that. If the scout doesn't know, you should pick up the money for him. It drops in increments of 8, so if you see the money counter in the bottom left go below 8, you know you got it all.
Go on, get.
Now we're gonna do that aggro abuse with the mini. This is probably the
That was getting heavy.
biggest use case for the mini. Or disposable, not a mini. It's very different.
Sentry down.
Got destroyed.
Building a
Because the demos up there will shoot the mini, but they will almost never hit it. If you place it back there, I'll try to, yeah, their pills all go right there, and then they just completely ignore the sentry that's over here.
Engineers, look out
So
for that
top
sentry
is
buster.
basically just free. Try to let the scout know there's money. If you try to get the money, you will almost certainly die from your sentry. That is the only downside to that dispenser location. Is if people kill the buster, there's a good chance it'll die.
Alert. Another sentry buster
Because
has
normally
entered the
people
area.
kill the buster right around that location. Demos are all dead, but we can leave the sentry up there because fan scouts. The fan scouts can hit the mini, and it will either die during this section or it will run out of ammo and kill itself. But it has done the main job. Pretty much keeping the sentry upstairs the entire wave. Although we will move it back after the fan scouts.
Alert. Another sentry buster has entered the area.
Put the new mini right there. Or disposable. Keep calling it a mini.
big damn
Fan
robot.
scouts are dead, so we can move this back down.
Backing up.
The next thing that comes top is the bonk support scouts, and it's just never ending, and we are trying to make sure that they do not get to the bomb,
Another sentry buster has
because that can
entered
mess
the area.
with the halving down there and the aggro of the Liberty Launcher soldiers. I'm actually going to have this guy build my sentry, because I have enough time to build a level 2.
Sentry going up.
So putting the disposable there for the little extra firepower it gives, and then it also won't be destroyed by the sentry buster if I let the buster run up right here. So we should only have to rebuild if it runs out of life. I'm actually going to go buy some swing speed.
Another sentry buster has entered the area.
Part of my upgrades for next week. So I bought the second tick of firing speed. Now, normally you do not want to buy that. It is normally useless on level 2 or level 3 sentry. I believe a level 3 and level 2 sentry fires every 9 ticks.
Sometimes you
And a
just
sentry
need a little
gun
less
can
stuff.
only fire on intervals of 3 ticks.
I'm moving this.
So it can only fire on 3 ticks, 6 ticks, 9 ticks, and 12 ticks for a level 1. Or level 1 might be 15 ticks, and a mini, like from the gunslinger, is every 12 ticks. Not sure if demo is gonna solo top. Looks like he is. If demo solos top this wave, you want to keep the sentry away from this area again so the demos do not fire and eat stuff, and then disposable will go here, and that will bait the first wave of fire into not hitting anything. So back to the firing speed. So allegedly you can only get 30% firing speed max. But 30% of 9 doesn't, or minus 30% of 9 doesn't go close enough to 3 to round. So it actually can only get to 6 unless you are using crate canteens, which triple the firing speed to the 3 tick interval. The first tick puts it exactly on the margin for rounding down to 6 ticks or something like that. So if the server's working right, it will only require the first tick. Sometimes the server's tick count is wrong, and so it won't actually do anything when you do need the second tick. But the disposable, on the other hand, is really just a reskinned level 1 sentry. And because of that, it actually does get a increase in firing speed when you buy the second tick. Guess we are getting top. I shouldn't say guess. Yeah. It's too easy talking about firing speeds. So the point of that was, if you have the disposable, getting the second tick is okay. If you... Why? Okay. Oh, I did not have all of this one. If you think the sentry isn't firing faster after buying the first tick, go ahead and buy the second tick. But the third tick will never do anything for any sentry you have. And so the TLDR of that is always buy the first tick, maybe buy the second tick, and never buy the third tick. Right now we are body blocking the gate scouts. Because supposedly the team should be able to take care of the single 2 scouts there. Apparently not. So it's just gonna...
Another sentry buster has entered the area.
Moving out. There wasn't getting any lighter.
The other upgrades I got this wave were the max crit resist and blast resist because this wave is pretty heavy in those damage elements. I wouldn't want to catch some splash of one pill. Why are these people taking my influx? Very annoying.
One way down. Greed is good. Have a bonus.
Sentry going up. Go, go, go!
So now we are at the point where we have so much money, it just kind of becomes personal preference on what you want. Yeah, I don't really have anything to say about upgrades other than
Building a sentry.
probably one tick of each, bullet and blast, and max crit for this wave. You won't insta-die from anything.
3.
Except for maybe the heavies, but you shouldn't be visible to the heavies when they drop, so not really a problem. A lot of people will... And putting the disposable there again to try and bait shots. Doesn't work as well for the giant scouts. Most people say put the sentry right there, but when your demo puts stickies on that ramp, it usually results in the fan scouts shooting
I'm moving this.
the stickies, and you know, that's kind of a dick move.
Go on.
Look out for that sentry.
Normally I would have been waiting on this fence, and I would have pulled that up as soon as the last scouts died. There is 12 scouts displayed on the board. There's 12 giant fan scouts displayed on the board. There's 2 at the end, so when 10 of them die is when those scouts upstairs spawn.
Building a sentry.
And as soon as 6 of those scouts die, the black box soldiers will spawn. So trying to kill those scouts as fast as possible saves a little bit of time.
Mighty robot.
Get the spies up here. You have destroyed all fight.
Pretty much for the rest of the wave, just sitting up here and marking the sentry.
Another sentry buster has entered the area.
That was it.
The sentry buster detonation spawn isn't
You have killed all the spies.
necessary. Hey, if you switch to your banner, the dispenser will give you ammo. You don't have to steal my ammo pack.
Another sentry buster has entered the area.
Backing up.
That is going to destroy.
Backing up.
Here come the spies.
Sentry going up.
Tell if he was sarcastic or not. I really hope he was being sarcastic. That's kind of sad at 88 tours. Detonation ain't necessary, but if you're confident enough and always get the right spot, it will always detonate after 2 jumps. And so the time spent jumping twice versus having your sentry shoot the buster and waste all the metal refilling the ammo, I think it evens out pretty nicely. Now if you're trying to be a damage whore, obviously you wouldn't do that, farm the busters, but I don't think most people are obsessive over that, and especially not people who need some sort of walkthrough like this.
Here come the spies.
There wasn't getting any lighter.
Or the heavy section, which is after the fist. Moving the sentry down there would keep it from being instantly targeted.
I'm moving this. Backing up.
Although it will still get targeted if everyone else dies. Block these scouts. Fortunately, that cluster spawning is kind of bad.
I'm moving this. There wasn't getting any lighter.
Scouts for the rest of the wave.
Moving out. Go on, get.
You have killed all.
I'm moving this.
This time, we'll put the sentry there because the those scouts don't have a gun, so they can't shoot the stickies. And normally they will get to that point with their bonk still active, so you need to stall them a little bit.
Another sentry buster has entered the area. The spies are here.
Y'all ready?
Well done. And now get to an upgrade station.
Finally, the last wave. Switching to Widowmaker.
Thanks for the ride, partner.
And we are buying canteens finally. I don't feel as guilty using canteens on last. So this wave, resistances do matter. You do always want, no matter what class you are really, you always want max bullet resistance on this wave because you don't want to be the guy who randomly gets sniped by the giant health on kill heavy right before it dies and lose the gate because of that. We're putting the bait sentry again, and we are putting the sentry as close as we can without having the stickies fall. So somewhere between here and about there, depending on if there's stickies involved.
5, 4, 3.
And a little used tactic is Uber canteens. You could use crit canteens and put your sentry against this wall. The heavy won't shoot at it. But I like taking the aggro. It helps make sure nobody dies because the heavy almost always targets the sentry over anyone else down here. As soon as it drops, popping a canteen and then going to town with the Widowmaker. And the Uber canteen puts a Wrangler shield on the sentry that blocks 90% of the damage. Also lets you repair it at normal speed. And then once the canteens are out, pop a Wrangler, and then it dies. These heavies are bad.
Sentry going up.
Rush upstairs to help block these gate scouts. Everything goes to shit. I want to make a new sentry. I'll just
Demo's a goner.
demo. I gotta do it like that.
Backing up.
Should be fine as long as no one else dies.
There wasn't getting any lighter. Backing up.
And we have saved the gate. If
Heavy load
the
coming
gate is
through.
lost, I'm gonna
Sniper.
keep the sentry back here so it doesn't pop any meds, although I'm guessing that's the strat here. If you do lose the gate, you simply bring everything to the gate. Not that complicated.
Moving out. There wasn't getting any lighter. What you get?
Teleporter in that bush. You want to keep it right by where the people are gonna need it. Could also put it right here if you're more cowardly. The dispenser about right here. A lot of people put it right here, but the problem with that is it's gonna get splashed if you put it real close there. D-hits are all dead, so now we need to watch top and make sure the engineer bots do not set up there. We can put the disposable back there. I'm just gonna use a building canteen to finish off that dispenser. More Uber canteens so I can be aggressive with my Widowmaker. And also the 90% reduction the shield gives will also let a sentry live through a buster explosion, so I don't have to worry about my sentry dying if a buster gets to it. Just pop a canteen. Oh yeah, the last thing was the sentry. Normally you want to keep it so it doesn't start firing into spawn, which is about this area. You can see it with the range outline it gives you. But it's a lot of wasted ammo if you use the dispenser. You do damage farm sentry busters. Stop shooting at it when it gets near the dispenser. Your engineer will appreciate that. Actually, we can move this up. These guys are kind of aggressive. A really aggressive heavy will get down in the pit, and you want to put the dispenser like right there. 13 and 4 tours not really that aggressive. So right about there. Don't actually want it too far that way because the buster will sometimes veer into it. That is a GG. Hopefully this was helpful to any newer engineers. Maybe you're an 88 tour like this guy, don't know what you're doing at all, and it really helps you out. I'll let this loot screen play out because I'm finishing. Yes. 6 and 2.
Yeah, damn. Yeah.
Ah, yeah, 6 and 2 times 2. Alright, hopefully this was better than my demo one and did not have as many clicks, but I don't actually know until I watch it, so yep.